I'm Shenpei. So in this video, I'm gonna talk about the 4 articles I found since the start of 2020, how it's related to the COVID-19 situation that we're going through right now. So for the first article I'm gonna talk about today right here is about the changes that will happen to the workplace. I'm very sure many working adults will relate to this. So what are the changes is this work from home regime has been put into place and 80% of the white collar workforce is experiencing this. How are they working from home is through online conferencing, chats, discussion and digital marketing. So it has been proven effective during this pandemic period that the work from home is quite effective and it can become a norm in the future. But not many people would want this to persist, such as the service industry and labour work, because of the nature of their job scope which require human contact. So why I chose this article is because it shows that companies realize the power of technology and how it could be used to its advantages. For working adults out there, to remain relevant to the changes in the workforce and in the workplace, it is important for people to be aware of how the industry and the workplace is gonna change and be able to cope with it, deal with it. People should constantly update their digital skill sets, especially how now in this era where we are very reliant on the digital world and the technology, so that we could remain active in the workplace digitally, especially if the next pandemic hits and we have to implement the work from home scheme again. So the second article I'm going to talk about is this, Onine Learning. So this article is more relevant for students compared to like the previous one I talked about, which is for working adults. With the education technology being so well adopted and grown way before the pandemic hits, we can say that the education sector is actually well prepared to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic, to move fully online to our house, away from classroom. And similarly to the work from home which I talked about before, online learning may persist as well even after the pandemic ends. This is because of the satisfactory result from students learning better. It could be because students are able to learn at their own pace and their comfort, and also the convenience of being able to study anywhere and review their materials. However, online learning is very heavily reliant on technology, and sadly, not everyone is privileged enough to own a gadget, be it computer or smartphone, and have access to the internet readily, which most of us take for granted. So I read something heartwarming in this article, and that is people are actually donating their old working devices, and companies are also sponsoring, like helping students with financial difficulties to get through these tough times and overcome the situation that they are facing right now and continue their education progress even during this period of pandemic online learning. So now the next article, the third article we have is Google Meet becomes free. Have you heard of Google Meet before? So in response to the pandemic, many online platforms are competing for consumers to use their service. So for example, we have Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, Zoom and other online platforms. So Google conferencing and messaging products are pushed to improve itself greatly in a short time span to keep up with the consumers' needs and demands of the pandemic. Like we as consumers are requesting for platforms that provide us with what we need. So these platforms are fighting for consumers' loyalty, and Google Meet is one of it. It is trying to distinguish themselves from other conferencing platforms, and it has implemented safety measures such as requiring a login and also giving control to the host. And this is actually learned from another article that I read about recently about the mistakes that Zoom had made and how it has been hacked in a way. Yes. So why did I choose to talk about this article is because this article shows that video streaming and conferencing technology is made readily available to consumers. It is great to have access to such technology readily, but we should look out for threats such as security of the platforms that we use. If we are actually safe using these platforms, we need to take precaution because there are things such as hacking, information leaks, And also when we are using these platforms that provide video conferencing technology, we ourselves as consumers, we have to stay safe, because if we are not using it properly, we are leaking information, or we never mute our mic, and yeah, so that's how accidents may happen when we are using such platforms. So we have to protect our own privacy. Entertainment evolution. So the last article I'm gonna talk about is not about work, it's not about studies. It's in our life, it's not just all work, correct? We need to have play in our life. So that's what I'm gonna talk about in this article, entertainment. So now entertainment is all about streaming, and it has been threatened by the situation that we are in right now. Theaters are closed, studios have stopped recording, and this has resulted in a stunt of content creation. And it's especially during this time, we as consumers are demanding more content. Overall, the entertainment industry has lost a lot of income, and they are trying to cope through streaming. And streaming platforms that provide consumers with entertainment content, they are also struggling. They are competing with each other for customer loyalty, and one of the highest number of customer loyalty platforms is actually Netflix. So why I actually choose this article to talk about is that through this we understand that although many things can be moved online with the help of technology, but not everything can be solved. Many things such as recording and filming process is still deeply rooted to the human contact, and it's not replaceable just yet. We have to realize that technology is powerful and it brought many conveniences to us, but there are still limitations. And taking into the account of the limitation, we should make necessary adjustment and measures to cope with the technological limitations. And that's it for the presentation. Thank you for listening.